It's funny because, in the manosphere, so many guys are caught up with this idea of trying to be alpha and figuring out all the techniques and strategies and how to become the most alpha male and this and that. Um, and I used to play that game as well. But what I think you'll find as you let go of this idea of chasing, becoming an alpha male, that you'll start to find more peace in your life. You'll find that you're good enough, that you don't have to, because as long as you're playing that game of trying to make sure that you appear as the alpha to everybody and not a beta male, then essentially what that shows is that you're overly concerned with what other people think about you. And I just watched the movie Apocalypse Now the other day. Great movie, the old Vietnam movie. And I saw that with my dad the other day, just a couple of days ago. They had it digitally re-edited and everything to play in the theaters for just a couple of showings. And so it's always been one of my dad's favorite movies, because he was in the 1st Cavalry in the Army in Vietnam, and so we watched that movie. Great movie. And the Kurz, I believe that was his name, the guy, who they're after, the one who had, created the whole rebel army in Vietnam. He was a brilliant man, but he had gone insane. But he said a line that I thought was great. Near the end of the movie, what he said, it's judgment that defeats us. It's judgment that defeats us. See, the fall of man is as we start to get overly caught up in what other people think about us, that judgment, and worrying about how we're judging others, and that judgment is what defeats us. And like I was saying, the fall of man is as you start to get overly concerned with what other people think about you. And you're more obsessed with the reflection, making sure you look like an alpha, than you are with reality and what you really are. We live in a reflection obsession era where people are literally more obsessed with their reflection in the mirror. They're obsessed with seeing themselves in pictures. They're obsessed with the reflection. They're more than that of what is inside. We're conditioned to look externally in all different areas of life, and not to look internally. And so what I'm suggesting is to let go of that idea of worrying about coming across as alpha, and instead focus on going inside. Love and appreciate yourself and know that you're good enough inside already. Doesn't matter about that idea of chasing alpha, because as long as you're doing that, then again, that's showing that you're overly concerned with what other people think about you, and then you can be easily manipulated. People who are really concerned about what other people think about them and have an image to uphold, they're the easiest to manipulate. Those people with the big egos, and they're the ones who get sucked into this materialistic world, are the easiest to fool, in sales or anything, and they get caught up in playing this lifelong game of keeping up with the Joneses, and end up becoming so far removed from who they really are as a person, so far removed from their own true nature, their purpose, that they end up lost and confused, and at the end of their life realizing that if they ever do even have the realization, that they most likely they lived their life all wrong. And so instead of playing this game of worrying about being alpha, and when you walk into a room, you got to make sure you got your shoulders tight and your voice deeper than everybody else, so that everybody sees you as an alpha. Don't worry about that. Work on just you appreciating you on the inside. That's it. You're good enough. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks about you. I always find it funny when someone leave comments on my videos saying, "Oh, you're a beta male," I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, call me a beta male. I could care less. Call me whatever you want. Just semantics. But, in here, I love and appreciate myself, and I know that I'm good enough as I am. I don't need to, I'm not worried about other people's approval if they consider me the alpha male or the alpha male of the tribe or whatever. So yeah, guys, let go of that. Stop worrying about what other people think about you so much. This whole chasing this alpha idea. Just work on loving yourself from the inside out, knowing that you are good enough. Work on yourself for you. Become the best version of yourself for you, not to impress other people. When you walk into a room, feel happy for you and confident for you, not because you got to present yourself as a certain way to other people. And what's funny is, as you do that, as you start to truly, just feel good enough within, and that you are enough, then naturally you tend to display, probably those alpha male types of habits and lifestyle, just because you're confident with who you are. You're not trying to fake it. It's just that, you are good enough on the inside, and you don't need anyone else's approval. And a lot of times when you let go of chasing that, just naturally more people will probably start to see, hey, you know what, this guy's got it going on, because of the fact he's not so caught up like other people are and caring about what other people think. But you can tell that this individual is content with themselves and feels worthy and good enough on their own without other people's approval. That person's got it going on. So with that being said, guys, I hope you're having a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year. Let's make it a great life. See ya.